Hi, Lizzie.
Yeah, I wondered if you could share a little bit about how sessions with me have helped you, maybe specific things, or yeah, just whatever's come up for you.
Yes, with pleasure. So we worked for quite a while, um, but actually also not so much, right? I mean,
Yeah.
with longer breaks, longer periods. And after the last session, I experienced like a major transformation in my identity. It's like a major identity shift that brought me a lot of joy. And I think that that joy is coming from a place of me accepting myself for who I am. So,
Oh,
we work through like generations and generations of trauma through my family history and, history of my country also, like linked to wars and things like that, that I did not even know I was carrying, but I think I was carrying it my DNA, as part of my DNA.
yeah,
And
yeah,
having tapped it out, like, so, with your very gentle guidance, like really digging into this and tapping it out, I feel like, that cloak of, that I was carrying, like, and that baggage that I was carrying of like old trauma and things that I thought were negative. I do not see them that way. So it helped me see them without judgment. Yes, these are facts, that happen, but I
yeah,
see them without putting a label on them. And I see myself for who I am with all the good and bad, without labeling them. So, like as a full and whole being.
hmm,
And I cannot be thankful enough, and I cannot, and that comes from like really the place of like enormous joy, and it's
hmm,
yeah, the undescribable joy. Like it's probably the joy that I experienced for the first time, like really looking into myself without judgment and saying,
yeah.
yes, this is who I am. And
Gosh, wow.
it's, yeah,
Wow.
it's invaluable.
Oh,
Invaluable.
it's so moving to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were saying also like some of those early sessions, you were saying about you shared something with me which I didn't realize around like things like how the house is and the home. I wonder if you can share a bit about that and how different that is for you now.
Oh yeah. So when we started, I was in a place where, I was in burnout because I was trying to control a lot of things.
Right.
So like around the house, everything had to be clean. So I had a certain perception how things should be, you know, and it did not match what could be. So, we're in COVID lockdown. I had small kids at home all day, every day. And I was like cleaning it all. So like everything had to be picture perfect at all times. Uh,
Wow, that's a
yes, I
lot.
was driving myself, like not only like physically exhausting myself, but also like driving myself crazy, like literally crazy with all of this, like, working full time, taking care of the kids and all of that at the same time, and then cleaning late into the night, and then waking up in the morning and like making, the table picture perfect for breakfast. So now I don't do those things anymore. And I could not think that I could also shift this. But these things are like so much have passed for me that I do not even remember that. My mom comes to visit and she's still like that, like this controlling and, like perfectionist. And I'm like, just leave it.
Wow. And did you just find that that just went like after that session or
Yes, it just went. So it was like, yeah,
yeah.
like peeling, the layers of the onion. It's like, boom,
Yeah.
like, this is done. Like it's done. I'm leaving it behind.
Oh, wow. Your
Yeah.
family must have been in shock, like what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
We need to do, like, it was expensive because we need to change all the door hinges. Like, like pretty much renovate the apartment afterwards. But, at least I was calm and I was like, yeah, okay, well, this is happening. Like, it's not up to me alone to take care of everything or to worry. It's
Gosh.
fine.
And how different is that for you? Like, I mean, like, even how does that feel in your life? How does it affect your life now that that's changed and all these other experiences where we've worked on ancestral trauma and the trauma you were carrying in this life? Like, how, I mean, I know you're saying you feel that joy, which is wonderful, but I'm wondering,
Yes.
like, if there's any other things you've noticed in your life.
Yeah, it's very light. So you're light and refreshed. And yes, and I realized life is not just about, you know, controlling the uncontrollable. So I saw how much resistance I was creating and also where it was bringing me. And I was asking myself, like, is this how I want to live? Well, no, but
Right.
these patterns, you know, that were running through me, they were stronger than me. So like, even if I did not want this, I did not know how to, you know, give it all away. And I could not ever think that tapping was the solution, you know, and that, you know, just a session of tapping will help. But it was really with the first session, it was gone.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was amazed, and even more amazed after our last session, you know, when I wrote to you, I felt like I had wings. I could not touch the ground anymore. You know, I was like, we were working on me accepting my identity, and and really there were parts of identity that I could not accept.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot tell you how liberating it is to actually accept you for who you are, and not only accept, but like be proud of it.
Wow.
This is who I am, and you know,
Yeah.
to show up in the world differently with all who you are as a whole person.
Yeah. And it's so beautiful
No
to see that in
judgment.
you. Yeah. Wow. And you know, you said about, you know, you were really surprised that doing the session with me and the tapping had that, you know, the shifts for you. Like, have you tried any other therapy? And if so, I'm wondering, like, how does it compare, or even just the idea of what you thought it was going to be and what your experience has actually been with me?
Yeah, so therapy, I tried a little bit, but it did not really work. So, you know, therapy coaching, you're processing it all logically, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
It's maybe very time consuming. So here, you know, I was really in awe how quickly that shift is happening. And you remember I was even asking you, like what is, like, what's the magic about it? You know, how come that it's like really like as you take it and put it aside, you know,
Yeah.
or yeah, throw it
Yeah.
out
Mm-hmm.
completely. So this shift that is happening, like literally as we speak or as we tap, that
Yeah.
is magical. It's like I could not think that it can happen so quickly.
Oh, that's
And
lovely.
now, yes, it's, I want to understand more, you know, how this energy thing works, and
Yeah.
what exactly tapping is doing, and how it is working, because it's, yeah, it worked
Yeah.
wonders for me, really.
Oh, it's wonderful. And your experience of me, like, how would you say that is in the sessions? Because I know, you know, we have to go to in therapy, we have to go to such vulnerable places, and, you know, and some with a lot of trauma. So yeah.
So it was, as I said, it was very gentle and seamless. You did not even realize, you know. So yeah, I think there were also sessions where I cried a bit, or, you know, also
Yeah.
had to process or go through my emotions. But it was very, very gentle.
Mm.
So that guidance that you're giving, and you know, I felt like led and supported at all times. So I did not feel alone,
Mm.
and I
Oh,
did
that's so
not
important.
feel bad feeling what I was feeling. So
Yes.
that is great.
Mm. Brilliant. Thank you, Giedre. I mean, if there's anything else you want to share, or
Yes, no, so this gentleness was really, really good. So I don't know if it's just you, Lizzie, or tapping, or, you know, the both things, but the combination has been perfect. And as I said, I'm grateful for life, for you having given me my identity back. And it's
oh,
yes,
well, it's just so
as I
moving.
said,
Thank you.
it's invaluable, and I really, really, like, I'm grateful forever with it.
Thank you, Giedre. Yeah, and it's just
You.
been a pleasure to explore that with you and see you unravel and see you really step into who you are, like the knowing of who you actually are. It's just, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your story with people. Yeah, that's
I hope it will be helpful for somebody else. So, as you
yeah.
know, I'm coming from Fernando's world, where a lot of people we are exchanging in that group. You know, a lot of people are having the same, well, similar experiences, right? So
Yeah. Oh,
yes,
lovely.
so
Thank
it
you.
does work for a lot of people.